proud and humble, beautiful and plain, and young and old.
Hello and welcome to Love Has Many Faces. This is Marilyn Milano, your host here on Alternative Talk 1150. And you know, it's summertime, and you know what happens in the summer on television? There are some replays, right? And we're going to be doing that today as well. We're going to revisit a conversation that we had with Alison Sawyer of islaanimals.org. And this is a group that started back in 2000. They have rescued animals in the area. It's been doing a wonderful work with street dogs, rehoming, rehabilitating, and such. I want to give you their website because you can get the update here. Since this conversation was over 2 years ago, anything that might be new would be on their website, and I encourage you to visit it. It's islaanimals.org, and that is spelled I-S-L-A animals.org, islaanimals.org. So, we will talk again. We will play that conversation. It's a wonderful organization that probably can always use a little push, a little bit of a refresh, and let people know that they're out there and what they can do to help. And so again, a couple of things, just the housekeeping stuff. We not only air on the air 9 to 9:30 every Tuesday morning, and that's Pacific time, but we are podcasting now. So every show is a podcast, and you can find those podcasts anywhere you find your podcasts. If you don't yet have a favorite podcast spot, then go to your search bar and type in Love Has Many Faces podcast, and it should pull up the Apple or Spotify podcasts, and then you can scroll down and take a look at who we've had on and listen to those that pique your interest. So just want to let everybody know that. All right, we are here to raise awareness, touch hearts, and help save the lives of animals. And when we do that, we are helping their people as well and doing our little part bit by bit to make the world a little kinder place. So stay with us. We will be back to replay the interview with Alison Sawyer. And for those of you that are listening for the first time, we hope that you find it informative and helpful, and perhaps your heart is touched as well. Marilyn Milano on Alternative Talk 1150. We'll be right back.
You know that feeling when your dog hears a treat bag from 3 rooms away, but somehow your business is invisible on Google? At SearchHound, your marketing companion, we help businesses get found online so customers don't have to go digging. From SEO to Google business profiles to showing up in AI search results, we help the right people find you right when they're looking. So whether you own a business or you know someone who could use more leads, point them in the right direction. Visit searchhoundseo.com and let's get your business on the set.
This is Martha Norwalk. Every Sunday morning, beginning at 9 a.m., thanks in part to newprosupplements.com, we cover the world of animals. This week, August 2nd, it's Shelter Rescue Sanctuary and anything that helps our animal friends Sunday. We'll check in with Meow Cat Rescue, Help Animals India, Beth and Merritt Clifton from animals24-7.org, plus we'll find out about all the great classes and events coming up at the Ananda Institute of Living Yoga. Martha Norwalk's Animal World, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to noon, right here on Alternative Talk, AM 1150.
Talk radio that will get you thinking. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Alternative Talk 1150. I'm Marilyn Milano with our guest today, Alison Sawyer of Isla Animals. And Alison, we introduced people to you via the introduction a moment ago, but it would be great to just hear how you happened to move to Isla Mujeres and when you started noticing the situation with the animals. First, I think it's amazing what you have been doing and what you are doing, and we certainly want to encourage people to help, but I would love to hear a little bit of your story.
Well, thank you, Marilyn, for giving me this opportunity to talk about it, because I could talk about it all day.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I'll have to be careful. But I actually vacationed on Isla Mujeres, and while I was there, I helped some people do some rescues of dogs, because at the time there were wild dogs on the island and there were street dogs everywhere. And the dogs were like nothing I'd ever seen. Because it's a tropical environment, they all have skin issues. your average dog is all ribs and usually has wounds, bite wounds from fighting over food or whatever. And it took me a while to really understand the situation, which was not necessarily the people's fault. There was nowhere for them to get their dogs spayed and neutered. So imagine that. So, the dogs are just breeding like they would, in the wild. And there's puppies everywhere. There's puppies everywhere.
Oh.
And so my first rescue was a dog that we named Red, and she'd had 9 puppies under the stairs at the place I was staying. And I helped this girl protect this mama, and we put up signs, don't go near her, because she was wild and she wasn't very friendly. And we managed to keep her unbothered by people until her puppies were weaned. And then we took the puppies and found them homes. And that was my first rescue.
Wow. Just thank you for doing what you did. One of the reasons I started this program, even though we're just a local program and I'm not famous, but I started this program because there's so much need for so many wonderful groups. And I felt like I couldn't do anything. I thought, my $10 donations aren't going to really help. But the thing is, if we work in the area that we know, if it's the things that come in front of us, the things that land in our space, in our plate. You went to Isla Mujeres and you saw this issue and you did something about it. So, I think that's a reminder for people. No, we can't save every dog. We can't save the world. But if everyone is doing something in their space when they see the need, that will help make things so much better. So, Alison, you have been doing this for 23 years. Now, do you live in Mexico the whole time?
I lived in Mexico for 20 years. And while I was doing this, I would go home to Canada where I was born in the summer. But I had a house on Isla Mujeres where I, at first, had all the dogs. I had up to 64 dogs at my house at one time.
Ooh.
Because people started, the islanders wanted help, but there was no help available. And there's a ferry ride that you go on between the island and the mainland, which is Cancun. It's part of the Yucatan Peninsula. I'm having trouble with that one. Anyway, so dogs weren't allowed on the ferries. So if they have no vet on the island, then what are they going to do? And I actually arrived just about the same time as the first vet arrived on the island. And we started to do spay and neuter clinics. And they were free. We would raise money to do them. And at first, we got no male dogs because of the macho kind of society. But
right.
And we would have to go into the neighborhoods and practically drag these dogs away from their owners because they were afraid that they'd die or whatever, you know. So, I think our first clinic, we did 200 animals, and that was huge.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we started to do more weekly spay and neuters so that it was an ongoing process because you have to keep hitting the same area again and again to really prevent an overpopulation. So we've been doing that for 23 years and going into the neighborhoods and handing out tick and flea meds and dewormer and leashes and collars and anything we could do. I didn't mean to do this. It was more like I couldn't not do it.
Yes.
I just couldn't leave it the way it was. I couldn't live there. If I wanted to live there, I could not leave it the way it was.
Right.
And I wasn't very popular at the beginning.
Well, you were shaking things up, but like you're saying, sometimes when you see something, you cannot unsee it and you cannot remain silent and not do anything. And so So I'm curious how that first vet happened to get there. Did he know you were there? Was it a total COVID, or was it he or she? But did they know you were there, or did it just happen that a vet decided that the island needed help, and then the two of you connected? I'm curious about that too.
Well, he just happened to arrive at the same time I did.
Okay.
And he was all there was on the island for animals. And and he was willing to help, and we could use his clinic for our spay and neuter clinics. And I had a lot of learning to do. I didn't know anything. I mean, this was not, I'm a potter. I mean, this was not my area of expertise.
Right.
So I had so much to learn. And I, all of a sudden had all these dogs in my care. And it was a very fast learning curve.
I bet.
And I made a lot of mistakes. I wasn't trained at all. And there wasn't anybody around who really was interested. In fact, the government's answer to all of this was to, every once in a while, the wild dogs would get together in a pack and they'd attack somebody on the beach, because the beaches there are beautiful.
I know.
And then the government's reaction to that was to go and pick up a truckload of dogs, which of course they never got the dogs that were the problem, because you couldn't catch them. And then they would electrocute them.
Oh.
Yep. And so, I did everything I could to prevent that. I mean, I was really bratty. I let the air out of the truck's tires one time.
Good for you. I love it.
Yeah, or I'd follow the truck and wait till the drivers went in for lunch, and I'd let all the dogs out. I mean, as you can imagine, I was not popular.
But you were brave and you did something. And how many people would have the wherewithal or the chutzpah to do that? I mean, but when you see something that's wrong and you take a stand, whatever that looks like, that is inspiring to others as well. So, I mean, I'm thrilled to hear you say that. Now, you mentioned that you did, work to vaccinate, save from health issues, spay and neuter, and rehome. Do you only rehome the dogs currently in Mexico? Do any of them do like flights out to the United States? I mean, where do the dogs go that are ready to find a new home?
We rehome them mainly in Canada and the United States. Okay. At the time, Mexican Airways, you could send 14 dogs on a plane if there wasn't any fish on the plane. I mean,
oh my gosh.
I know. I mean, it was sort of such a strange environment. Anyway, so I would send them to a friend in Denver, and she would find them homes. But now, after 23 years, and I have some amazing volunteers and a woman named Trina Nooks, who's taking over the rescue for me, although I'm very much involved still, but I'm not in Mexico. I go down quite often, but I'm not in Mexico.
Okay.
And I love her. She thinks just the way I think. And she's doing an incredible job. And we have got someone doing the adoption program, and she's sending out like 30 dogs a month. Or cats. We do cats a little bit now, but we're mainly dogs.
Okay. And I've talked to a number of different animal rescue organizations over the years. I've had my show for a little over 7 years now. And I hear, there are areas, even in the United States, where there's a problem with overpopulation, but then there are areas more up in the north where there aren't adoptable animals, where there's a real dearth of animals, and people want to give them homes. So I think that, again, what you're doing is amazing. Now, I know that, for example, I'm just going to take a moment to give a couple of addresses of places here. Facebook.com/Isla Animals, ISLA Animals, Instagram.com, Isla Animals, TikTok.com, Isla Animals Rescue. YouTube is also Isla Animals Rescue, and there's a GoFundMe that is help-save-isla-animals-rescue. Now, that's probably a lot to remember. I'm assuming if someone goes to the Facebook page and sends you a message, they can get information or more questions answered if they didn't catch it all in this interview.
Yes, that's right. They can go to islaanimals.org and all the information is on our website, and they can see what we're doing. They can see the animals that are available for adoption. And one thing I really want to add about adopting animals out is that we have now one of the most wonderful vets. That is our vet. I mean, he does many other things, but he's our vet. And when I started, people didn't want dogs from Mexico. They thought they would all be sick and horrible and everything. But we do a very thorough vetting of our animals. And I mean, I can't say that we never make a mistake, but a lot of rescues want our animals because we vet them so well.
That's quite a testament to, how things have grown and gotten better over the years that you've been there. Now, you mentioned that the present government is evicting you from the space that you had, but I see that there is a campaign to build a new space on the island. And I'm sure that people who are hearing this, I mean, if they can't adopt, maybe they can make a donation. So tell me a little bit more about the building fund, and where's the best place to send people who might want to see how that's going and make a contribution?
Well, we are not building our rescue on the island because the island's only 5 miles long, and the difference in the island between when I moved there, there were all the streets were sand, and now it's become a major tourist attraction. And it's so small that land costs a fortune there.
Okay.
So we were donated a piece of land in Cancun, on the edge of Cancun, and we are building a rescue there. And it's an incredible experience because up till now, what we've done is we've tried to make whatever we had into the best rescue we could do with what we had. But now we're actually building a rescue that is going to, from the ground up, have everything we need. And we're doing it. We are our own contractor. We're doing it as cheaply as we can, but as well as we can, knowing exactly what we need. And it's very exciting, but it's just so sad because, as I said, we can't do the work. We can't do all of the work we were doing and build the new rescue. So we're only allowed to do 20% of what we used to do, and it breaks our hearts.
Of course, because no one ever likes to say no to an animal or person in need. Now, I don't know the geography of Mexico very well. So is this rescue still close to the island so that you're still helping island dogs?
Yes, this is just a ferry ride, a 20-minute ferry ride away from Isla Mujeres. And I was just down there about 10 days ago, and we go into the poorer neighborhoods on the island and see everybody. I feel like I'm going home. I spent so much time in these neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah.
And, it took a long time to get people to trust me, but they do. And longevity is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And they trust me. And I made a list. We went up and down all these streets. We gave tick and flea meds, dewormer. We cut dogs' nails. We handed out food for cats and dogs. And I made a big list of animals that needed to be spayed and neutered. And so we're going to keep working on that as much as we can. So we're not abandoning the island. We will do forays to the island to do what's needed there. But actually, we are needed way more in Cancun right now.
Okay. Well, it's important to go where the need is. And so at this time, of course, I'm sure that donations to the GoFundMe or going on your page and learning more and perhaps reaching out, but donations are needed to help complete this. Do you have an estimated time, or at least a kind of a timeline that you're shooting for to have this building completed?
Well, it's been amazing. This one woman is head of the construction. She's fabulous, and she has done an amazing job in a very short time. I mean, this was a piece of jungle, and it had no electricity, no water, no sewage, no nothing. It's a piece of jungle. And she's cleared the land. She's built a big, tall fence all the way around it, dug a well, working on a septic, and actually, a miracle of miracles, got together with other people that were close around this rescue location and managed to bring in electricity.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we have the cinder block buildings almost done. And
That's great.
yeah, it's amazing how much she's done, and we really want to be ready to take animals in at the beginning of next year as soon as we can.
Well, if people who are listening can share this information, again, there are many, many groups out there doing good work. It's impossible for most people, to be aware of all of them. I had not heard of your work until someone forwarded your information to our show producer. And so what I'm hoping I can do is just get more people talking about it, make more people aware, maybe put something up on our KKNW website to let people know what you're doing, and just get folks involved, because one person leads to another who leads to another, and that's how things happen. But again, what a testament to you and your team for being there for 23 years. And as you said, now people trust you. And that is huge, because if people don't trust, they won't open up. You won't get the information you need. You won't get access to the animals. And so, again, I think it's wonderful, and I applaud you. Now, as always happens when I'm doing these conversations with folks, we run out of time before we even know it. So we've got about another 30 seconds, and I'm just wondering if there's anything that we missed or any message you'd like to share before we have to sign off.
I guess the biggest message is that we want to build this as fast as we can so we can get back to work. So, and we help other rescues in the area. I mean, we all do as much as we can. So these animals, I always say, if dogs in Mexico could talk, they'd be screaming, because they need so much help.
Oh.
And everything we do is all about the animals. It's just to help them, and they need it.
I love that. And again, this is a 501c3. This is a legitimate rescue. This is an organization that has proven itself. I know sometimes that there are scammers or groups that aren't that, they're not that experienced, or they're not organized. And they get a little bit suspicious because of all the crazy things that happen. But this is a group that's been around 23 years. And again, if you go to the Facebook page, Isla Animals, or Instagram, or even their GoFundMe, help-save-isla-animals.rescue, rescue, you can learn more. But I mean, if you really need to learn more and didn't get a chance to write all of this down, I would just reach out to Alison and her team on the Facebook page with the message, for starters. And let's all do something, even if it's tiny. But if we all put it together and do something, we can help this group reach their goals, and we can help more animals. And it's a global thing. And it's not just animals in the US, it's animals all over the world. And then we're making people happy when we're able to save an animal and bring them to a new home. So Alison, thank you again for your time today. Thank you for joining us. I truly appreciate it. I applaud your work, and we'll see what we can do to just let a few more people know about the amazing group that you have and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, thank you for having me. I so appreciate it. And part of our logo is caring is global. And
Yes.
the world's getting smaller all the time, and it doesn't matter where you are. There is need everywhere, and
yes,
we all have to step up to the plate. Or
we
do whatever little thing we can. It doesn't matter how big or little it is.
That's exactly right. If everybody did a little something, it would make such a huge difference. Many times people don't do things because they think that their little donation or their little bit of effort won't count. That's not true. So let's do it. And we're going to take a very short break and come right back. We've been talking with Alison Sawyer of Isla Animals. Again, thank you for joining us. I'm Marilyn Milano, your host of Love Has Many Faces. We'll be back in just a moment here on Alternative Talk 1150.
Hi, this is Marilyn Milano, your host of Love Has Many Faces. The music that you're hearing during this show every week is exclusively original music from my own CDs. If you're enjoying it and would like to order a copy of one of my 2 CDs for yourself or as a gift, just go to marilynmilano.net and you can order directly from the website. I give a portion of every sale back to animal rescue because that's part of the whole cause. Thank you for listening and thanks for your support.
Some people know a good thing when they hear it. Alternative Talk 1150.
Well, thanks again for staying with us today. And once again, islaanimals.org, I-S-L-A animals.org, I-S-L-A animals.org. Find out how you can volunteer, help, donate. There are adoption opportunities and contact information. So definitely check that out. And remember that, we are about getting information out to people. So share these. This is not a money-making project unless we're helping those rescues make some much-needed money. This is about sharing useful information. Even though many of us are very dialed in, there is so much that we don't know about. So every time we share a podcast, tell people about it. It's just helping get the word out about more help, more organizations, more services, more products. That's what we are trying to do. So thank you again for listening. I wish you all a wonderful week. And until next time, this is Marilyn Milano, your host of Love Has Many Faces here on Alternative Talk 1150.